right, guys, it's paranormal time again. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Brittany.
And this is Pure Malice into the Paranormal.
Into the paranormal.
Ooh. When true crime isn't enough,
we cross into the unknown.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for another episode. This week we'll be covering the Greenbrier Ghost. We are really interested to know if you have ever heard of this case before, because until recently, we hadn't. Well, I hadn't. Had you, Brittany?
I feel like, yeah, I've probably heard about this before.
It's really an interesting case. So send us an email to puremalicepodcast@gmail.com and let us know if you've ever heard it or if you have any personal experiences with the paranormal and would like to share it with us so we can share it with our listeners. Send us your story. There's something especially intriguing about this case because true crime and the paranormal really collide here. And the deeper you get, the more shocking it becomes. It's filled with morbid death, disturbing accounts, and otherwise all-around spooky events. Listener discretion is advised.
So what happened first, the true crime portion or the spooky event?
The true crime. True crime and then the spookiness. All right, so the Greenbrier Ghost is a truly fascinating story with some very creepy details. Her case remains to this day a one-of-a-kind event in the American judicial system, the only case in which the ghost helped to solve her own murder and convict a murderer.
This is the only one ever? They use paranormal people all the time.
This is the only one that's documented in the judicial system. You'll see in the end why it's the only one.
What's that show that's he pretends like he's a medium or a psychic, but he actually isn't? He's just really good at what he does, but he's goofy.
There's two of them, right?
No, there's two men.
I don't know the name of it, but I know what show you're talking about.
And he pretends like, oh, I know.
Yeah.
But he's actually really good at being a detective.
Yes, I know what show you're talking about, but I don't know the name. But in 1873, a young woman named Zona Heaster, who went by her middle name, Zona.
Elva or Zona? I mean, I'm not making fun of her. She's dead, right?
She did.
Okay, I'm not making fun of her, but I mean, if you had to choose.
Zona,
yeah, I think I would go. I don't know, Elva. You know, you start thinking, what does it rhyme with?
I'm just thinking of like Elvira. She was born in West Virginia in the county of Greenbrier. Not much is actually known about her life before she met her husband in October of 1896. But she met a man named Erasmus Stribbing Trout Shue. He was a drifter, a widower, and admitted horse thief whose previous wife died under mysterious circumstances. All the same, Zona was completely smitten by this horse thief. He came to the county to work as a blacksmith, which was a much-needed and extremely lucrative trade. He'd actually become well respected in the county for his work. Horse thievery aside. Zona fell for Mr. Shue upon meeting him, and he was immediately equally smitten with her, much to Zona's mother's dismay, who said that she had a bad feeling about Erasmus from the first time she met him. Mary Jane Robinson Hester, Zona's mother, told her that she didn't trust this man, and she believed that he was hiding something.
Always go with your gut, man.
You should. Well, Zona wasn't the one who had the gut feeling. Her mama did.
No matter, go with your mama's gut.
Mm-hmm. You're probably right. Really should.
I know.
I guess this is the perfect example, too. So, side note, you'll hear a lot about Zona's mom in this episode, as she's a pivotal part of this case. Zona had a huge falling out with her father, who outlived her mother. But in all of the research on this case and poring over articles and other sources, he's never mentioned. Joseph Hester, for whatever reason, didn't ever get involved in any manner whenever it came to Zona's death. So just an interesting fact to me.
Yeah, maybe he was involved.
We'll see.
So just a short 3 months after the wedding, Erasmus sent a neighbor boy named Andy on an errand for him and told him to return to the house when he was done. So the neighbor boy did as he was told, and upon completion of the errand, came to the house and knocked on the door. But the door was already opened.
Ooh, that's always creepy, right? Never a good sign.
I mean, I know if I come home, my door's open, I'll be looking around.
I don't know, but I'd be going in. Well, I don't know. I'm too curious. I would go in probably.
I'm strapped.
I She's strapped. She's good.
Don't come in my house. What?
She said I'm strapped.
I am. I'm not playing.
No, I know you're not. That's
Don't
what
be
makes it
coming.
funny. Listen.
I'm just telling you, don't come in my house when you ain't supposed to be here. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
And here's the worst part. If I shoot you, I'm not going to try to just hurt you. I'm going to kill you.
Shooting to kill.
But if I don't kill you, then I'm going to have to do CPR on you. So just don't come in here.
Yeah, just don't.
It's a lot of work for the both of us. He let himself in. He called out for Erasmus. And when he turned the corner, he found Zona lying face down at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
She was stretched out on the floor, legs together, and with one hand on her stomach and one arm on the floor. Her head was turned to one side, and as 11-year-old Andy approached to see if she was okay, a chill ran down his spine. She wasn't breathing, but her eyes were wide open, as if she was staring right at him.
Dude, that makes me think of Taylor because she actually still does this sometimes, but she sleeps with her eyes open. And if you walked in on Taylor, random time, didn't matter what time, her eyes are wide. It was creepy.
Yeah, B does too.
She does?
My daughter, yeah.
Mm-mm.
She does.
Mm-mm.
She usually just has one eye open.
Still creepy, man.
And then, but when people die, it's pretty common that their eyes, like, they stay open. Like, we make it a point to, like, lubricate the eye and hold them down or tape them shut.
To make sure that they stay closed.
And then once they stay closed, we'll take the tape off. So
Interesting. I didn't know that, though.
More natural. Yeah. So Andy found her at the bottom of the stairs with her eyes wide open. He promptly ran home to tell his mother, who called the local coroner, Dr. George Knapp. It took him a full hour. Yeah, these people are never in a hurry.
Mm-mm.
It took him a full hour to get to Zona and Erasmus's home, and in that time, Erasmus, who, remember, Andy could not find when he finished doing the errand for him, seemed to have taken it upon himself to move his wife's body.
Ugh.
So he moved his wife's body upstairs to the bedroom and lay her out on the bed. In that community, there was a tradition where other local women would come over, wash the deceased body, and then dress them for burial.
Don't sign me up for that one, man.
Me
Please
either.
Exclude me.
I mean, when you say wash the deceased body, like, most people defecate on themselves.
Well, and this was
So
back
you have
in,
to clean it up.
the late 1800s, too. So you can only imagine, I feel like, sometimes those bodies' conditions even...
Well, I always find it interesting. Well, yeah, that too. But I always find it interesting because they're like, yeah, because you always have the argument, like, yeah, but they were used to that. Like, that's what they did. Okay, I get it. Like, they had this duty, but that doesn't mean they liked doing it.
I know that's right.
Like, they had certain people that probably every time someone died, if they had to go, they were like, their stomach dropped, like, and it wasn't because they didn't love the person. It's just that wasn't what they wanted to do.
Yeah, for some, it's not for everybody, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it, but I don't want to.
Same. I
Yeah.
could, but voluntarily, nah.
Yeah. Ooh. So I'm gonna be busy that day. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta work. So, anyways, Erasmus, he took over this task, which otherwise was traditionally at this time not his job.
Which is interesting right off the bat.
Yeah. So he dressed her in a high, stiff-neck collar dress, covered her face with a veil. When Dr. George Knapp arrived to examine the body, Erasmus stayed alarmingly close by. He cradled Zona's head, wailing and sobbing in grief over the sudden loss. In fact, his display of grief was so dramatic that Dr. Knapp didn't even do a thorough examination on Zona. So he did notice some bruising on her neck, which Erasmus quickly concealed with the high neck dress and the veil. But in the doctor's attempt to examine the bruising on Zona's neck further, her husband quickly went into a rage and began violently protesting against any kind of further examination. So the doctor, afraid for his own safety at this point, he backed off and complied with Shue's demand. While there, he did take note that he believed the cause of death to be something called, quote unquote, everlasting faint.
Had you ever heard of this?
No.
Me neither.
It sounds like a made-up bullshit.
Well, here we go. You're about to get into it.
So, everlasting faint was essentially a 19th century term used for a pretty broad range of different causes of death. So, heart attack, any kind of sudden or unexplainable cause of death. It wasn't really a formal term. It was more colloquial or, slang.
We researched to see if we could find if anybody else from this time frame in history had this listed as their actual cause of death on their death certificates, and we didn't find any other historical figures with this listed. So it appears that this was only a working cause of death, if you will.
Working?
Yeah, like working. Yeah, exactly. Like they were determining it. Her official recorded cause of death in his book was childbirth. Now, I did find that it's often misprinted as heart disease, but that's not true. We actually found the coroner's registrar of death, and he wrote it clearly as childbirth. What makes this strange is that there is absolutely zero evidence that Zona was pregnant at the time of her death, or that she had ever had a child at any point in her relationship with Erasmus or anyone else.
I mean, I've only had one kid, but I didn't have no bruising on my neck.
Exactly. Like, what? You're kidding
my
me.
Eyeball. I busted a blood vessel in my eyeball.
When?
When I was giving birth.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't I mean, I could understand, I guess, how
The whole thing was red. I woke up and I could barely walk. I thought I slept for like 4 hours or 10 hours, really. And then they were like, wakey, wakey.
You're like,
and I was like, and I looked at the clock. I've been asleep for 20 minutes.
What?
And then they made me get up and stand up and walk to the bathroom, and I was wobbly. And I was an athlete at one point, and I was a pretty good athlete. Like, I was in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never felt that weak and wobbly and noodly. And I walked to the bathroom thinking I was going to collapse. That's what they made me do. So I went there and did it, and I remember looking in the mirror, and I was like, oh, gosh, really? And, like, my entire eyeball, it was my left eyeball. It was, like, completely red.
I bet I have a picture of it, actually.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I'm sure I do. It's on my Facebook. I'm almost positive. I have to go back and look at your
Why
eyeball.
Did you put a picture of me like that on Facebook?
It was me, you, and Bert right after you gave birth. It was so cute. I was a proud sister, a proud aunt, man.
She almost passed out.
Okay, so